Hello guys, I'm here in a beautiful San Diego, so you can see a little bit, and I'm doing this interview for Guilherme from BJJ Eastern Europe. So I hope Guilherme I pronounced your name right, and I have here, this is an interview. And the first question here, he asked me to introduce myself. So first of all, I'm sorry for if it's the wind. If the wind doesn't let you hear that, I'm gonna definitely make another video. Okay. So he asked me to introduce myself. So my name is Renato Migliaccio. I'm a third degree black belt. I'm looking to be fourth, as you can see. So third degree black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Next year will be fourth. So third degree black belt in Judo as well. I train under Ryan Gracie. My first instructor was actually Gordo. Gordo was my first instructor. I met him in the city that my mom was living, and it's called Ribeirão Preto. That's the city in Brazil, São Paulo state. But eventually he moved out, and I also moved out, so I moved out to São Paulo, the city where I born, but didn't grow up in there. So back to São Paulo, and when I met Ryan, and Gordo introduced me to Ryan. So, and I got my black belt from Ryan. That's pretty much it. He asked me to say my main titles. So as in the black belt level, I was world champion, closing the bracket with Marcio Feitosa in 2002, 2003 Pan American champion, 2005 European champion, and a couple of national titles and state championships with teams and individual. In Brazil, they still have the teams competition, which is very nice. So yes, pretty much it. Did judo in a very good level in Brazil. Judo in Brazil is good, very great. I went to nice places to train in nice schools. Did wrestling in Brazil. I was national champion, but also in the national team for Brazil, competed in a tournament. It's called Pan American Games, and I had a chance to go to Hungary and meet also good BJJ guys in Hungary when I was training for my BJJ for my wrestling program. So second question here, let's see. Alright, so yeah, pretty much answered the second question. Tell me a little bit about how I discovered Jiu-Jitsu. So I always wanted to do Jiu-Jitsu when I was in the town in Ribeirão Preto. I always wanted to, but there wasn't much available when Gordo first came, so first thing I've done was going there. But you know, it's a town, not much money, not many people around nowadays. Actually, even afterwards, Robson Moura, people went there and stayed there longer. But Gordo was my first contact with the BJJ community, and he introduced me to Ryan. And when I started doing Jiu-Jitsu, I was already black belt in Judo, and I was doing Judo for a long time, since I was 8 years old. So Judo was very good that I was doing. But they were much into the rules and the sport aspect, and Jiu-Jitsu was more into the vale tudo, the MMA thing. Okay, so they were talking about a lot and how important it is not defending from bad positions, and having your guard and looking for how can I put this? Looking for the submission and look around for make the guy tap, and he always be in good positions. And Judo was mainly thinking about takedown and not much going to the ground. And although my school that I came from, they like to do a lot of groundwork. So the thing is, when we went to when I started jiu-jitsu, and the focus was on a like MMA jiu-jitsu. I mean, a jiu-jitsu that could be used in MMA, not much like nowadays the sports jiu-jitsu. People are not, not much focus on the MMA aspect, on fighting, the real fight. So what happened is because of that, they start focus on getting. I have to like learn boxing. I have to learn wrestling and kickboxing, and that's why I got involved with all this. But the bad thing about myself is like I got addicted to the stuff, and I started liking, and so I fluctuate a lot in other sports, and in one way it was good because it developed my way. I think I like to be more a complete athlete than just the BJJ guy. That's why maybe I didn't accomplish too much things in jiu-jitsu afterwards because I was focused on other stuff. And I did my MMA fights and everything afterwards, and it was pretty good. So let's go to the next question here. So please tell us about your instructor, Ryan Gracie, and he had a quite controversial reputation. You knew him very well. How was he in real life and as a BJJ instructor? Well, Ryan to me is like a very controversial what I'm going to be saying here too, because everyone that actually didn't know Ryan well couldn't say that he was a very, very nice guy. For me, he was very nice. He did great stuff. He taught me, helped me when I couldn't train or pay for training. Helped me to introduce me to the BJJ community. I can't really say anything bad about him. Mistakes we all do. Everyone is like expecting you or somebody else to tell some drama and some stuff that he has done, and truly I have nothing to say. Yeah, he was an intense guy. He came a lot of times to practice very in a let's say in a bad mood, and we were expecting him to be in a good mood. Many times to actually talk to him was rough. Many people didn't want to put up to that type of situation, and they end up leaving. But whoever was there and really like believe on him and the stuff that he did, because you know what, he never put up too many BS. He was just a straight up guy, and if you're scared of doing jiu-jitsu, if you're scared of competing, he was mainly into the competition side of jiu-jitsu, not much into the guys who doing for let's say for the martial arts or for the lifestyle. What maybe later he would be changing, I believe, but at that moment, he really appreciate if you compete and if you did your stuff and train hard. If you didn't train hard, you just like to be there to hang out, and try to coach the people on sideways, and you would have a bad time with him. So that's pretty much it about Ryan. Not much to say, nice. Got nice stories, with training and stuff. I remember being once at Hanzo School, and with a guy, he was a Russian guy, great taekwondo guy, and he asked me to do a little valetudo with him, and this story really represents Ryan. He said to do a little valetudo with him, and it wasn't an open mat, so and every time he does a spinning kick, the spinning kick, I step back, or many times I froze, I stayed there, and then he kicked me right in the head. So he kicked me so hard. When we went back home to the little studio that we were staying in New York, and he was yelling at me so much that I looked bad. And so this type of stuff, like, he didn't put up, he said, if you train hard, you can't look that bad, if you have to do good. So to me, it was good to push me into the competition level. He was a good pusher. Many people are just like, I'm gonna leave this guy, and they go for whatever they want to be. But for me, it was great. So next day, I was really hoping that the guy showed up again, and the guy did, and and we were thinking what should do when the guy does the spinning kick, right? So he said every time the guy does the spinning kick, you step in, you go, because the last time he saw you was when he started the spinning, so he hopes you stay there. So I was every time so next day he came, and luckily I got to fight him again, and every time he did the spinning kick, I approached, and then I was able to clinch, and then of course, he was a taekwondo guy, he didn't know much of jiu-jitsu, he got choked out every time. So it was a good learning experience, and a good way to, to say, hey, man up, and don't put up with any bullshit, just next day you gotta train better. So that's pretty much was how high I was. So let me see here, another question. What do you think about the growth of BJJ in US, and what are the threats and opportunities for BJJ there? Well, I think BJJ is growing a lot here in the United States, and mainly a lot of the Brazilian instructors are coming this way for a lot of reasons, because the market already knows about Jiu-Jitsu. The market is closer to Brazil, California. That the climate is very similar. We got some waves of instructors going to colder places here in the United States, and but they always wish to come here to California. So I'm lucky I'm in California after going a lot of places, and I'm trying to fix residence, but got it. And I would say Jiu-Jitsu is growing a lot, and I hope it grows more. I have this idea that for example, if everyone knows Jiu-Jitsu, like everyone knows soccer or here baseball, would be great, because in a town with 40,000 people, if it's impossible, but if all the 40,000 people do Jiu-Jitsu, you could have 40 Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu schools with 1,000 students. So I'm not much into the guy next door to me who just opened a Jiu-Jitsu school, and he has a purple belt just opened there a year ago. I'm not into this thing, into this fight. I think everyone can have their own business. The sun is for everyone, but you know what? If everyone know more about Jiu-Jitsu, more people will do Jiu-Jitsu as opposed to other stuff, and it will be better for any school. So that's pretty much it. That's the way I think, and I truly believe if someone wants to really, the good thing about the United States, Europe, I don't know, Europe, I've been to Europe, but sometimes I feel like people don't give the same value of Jiu-Jitsu, or the culture, the value of the culture, because you got to build up a culture of people valuing Jiu-Jitsu. That I don't think that happens much in Europe, and I don't know if Europe is because being through too many wars, and I think people in Europe is a little bit more I would not say cheap, to not offend, or I would say they are more frugal. So they always want to go to that wrestling place that you pay, I don't know, €60 per year, and the instructor is it's a guy who has another job, and many times he cannot come because he got caught up on job, or he's sick, and but it's nice, the idea that the wrestling practice and the judo place too. They happen a lot in Europe, but you're never gonna get into a professional guy. And I think the jiu-jitsu guys here who in America, they have the opportunity to be professional, to do only this, and many Brazilian guys are coming, but they don't do professional work, and they end up having the same living, of course, in a better country than they have in Brazil. So then I wouldn't be doing this. So matter of fact, I'm here in San Diego now because of our business summit. I was just on a business summit that I'm doing here, so to learn business and how to help out more people and show more jiu-jitsu and a high quality of jiu-jitsu for people. Let's see the next question here. This one is very controversial. What are my thoughts on the creontes in jiu-jitsu, and what is the mentality applicable for the US? So, creontes, I think it's a misconception of creontes. What is a creonte? And I think many times you can change the word creonte for ungrateful, but or I think the real meaning of creonte is the scumbag. What's a scumbag? Scumbag is a guy's, and that's what could happen in Brazil. Like, it happens in Brazil a lot because of the economy. So the guy come to your school, and he comes and he trains. He trains for free because he believes he has no money. But he's every night in a nightclub, or really he does not have any money. And he started getting better, introduced him to the business and to the industry, and he started meeting people, which is normal. And somehow, he can become better than yourself, and which is great. As an instructor, I think all my students are supposed to be better than myself one day. Many will not, but that's my goal. If they do, it's great. So after that, what happened? The guy decides to open a school right across the street, or it's just like, it's a scumbag. It's just how can we say in Brazil that this person has no crib, não tem berço. A pessoa que the person who does such a thing, but this happening is not just in the jiu-jitsu world, it's in the jiu-jitsu industry now. They happen everywhere, anywhere. You have an employee you have a pizza place, and you teach everything for the employee. He's poor, and after he opens a place right across the street, and he just needs someone to, hey, I can you do all the work, and it's called the entrepreneur seizure. Hey, I have a little money for you, and I help you out, and can be your partner, and that's what happens. So, but sometimes the creonte is a misconception. Some of the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu instructors, the fault is on the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu instructor. The guy doesn't have a clean place. He doesn't have a nice facility. He doesn't teach a nice class. He's always late to class. He curses at his students. The students are paying. So he's in America. It's like about customer service. But the person is paying. Same in Brazil, places that people don't need to train for free. The guy is not gonna put up with that bullshit. It's not because you're a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, because you're God, you can do whatever you want. No, people, So and then when these people leave, I think you have no reason at all to call people, or no right to call this people creonte, Or another reson I see people getting called creonte because they moved away, or and there is no such a team in that town. Like, they moved away like 5 hours away from their town, and come on, guy, just do your best. I have a guy in Connecticut that I gave him the brown belt, up to the brown belt, and then when I left Connecticut, I wasn't there anymore. So he found some stayed with me, but he needed to find another guy, and that's his option. Not love the guy, he's not in my team. I wish he was, but it was great the time that we had together, but he had to go his way, and that's pretty much it. I think that is the misconception of being creonte or not, and it happens a lot, many times. Not just for two reasons. One of the guys is not a creonte, he's a scumbag. And two, the guy is just unhappy with the level of your professionalism in your school. Gotta think about it. Let's see the other question here. Okay, the best advice for the new instructors who want, let me see, Best advice to the new instructors who want to inspire their students. Okay, best advice is to be a role model. Okay, you can find and the role model could be anything, right? But I think it's more good people in this world than actually bad people. You can get the guys who like to smoke weed. You can have the guys who like to go out and punch people in the face. You can have the guys who, but at the end, this is all gonna pass, and people want to have families and have a nicer lifestyle, a lifestyle that it's more political correct and that according to the society. And it's just I'm not against I'm not saying that I never did, or everything that I said I never did, I never fight, but truly the best thing is if you want to have kids and if you want to help more people, because there are a bunch of people out there with lack of confidence or wanted to lose weight that need the help of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and they can bring, because many of the gyms cannot, or just lift weight, and they can't get any of these results. So it's pretty much it. I think about your students. Don't think about yourself, and don't hurt students, because if they got hurt, you have no right to hurt people. You have no right to embarrass people. You have no right to scream at people. And that's pretty much how we talk here in my school. And you're gonna have a lot of students. Let's see the other question. Okay, tell me about your academies around the world. Well, I always wanted to come here to the United States. At the beginning was a little hard because I came to compete and stayed in some places. I stayed in California first time, then I went back to Brazil. Then it was hard to get the visa to come back again because my visa was short. It was a 3 months visa when they first gave me. It was right about the 9/11. So I stayed about 3 years without coming back to the United States since I first came. Then I started going to Europe. And in Europe was a great opportunity. It was great to meet a lot of people. So I met guys in Germany, then Switzerland, then England. So then when I started training wrestling, many people in Hungary, other people in Germany because of the wrestling, then Italy. So I have a good network of people. Belgium, can't forget Belgium because they're doing a great job in there. So every time it's becoming like a snowball now, because I have around in Europe 6 or 7, if I'm not wrong, 6 or 7 black belts, and they're teaching, and a bunch of brown belts, and they're teaching in their places, and some of them, they don't want to hear me, they don't want to become professional, they still have that mentality, that football mentality that I'm saying, and the others who are listening to me, they do an amazing job, like the guy in Belgium, he has a federation there, and organizing tournaments, and every time I go there, there's a bunch of people, like a snowball. I went there first time, 6 people on the mat for my seminar. Now they have minimum 40 every seminar. They do 2-3 seminars in there the same day, and the same day on the same trip. So a bunch of people, and they're doing great. I think more people know Jiu-Jitsu, more people get benefits from the Jiu-Jitsu benefits, and now this time I went to Rome, competed in Rome, the Europeans no gi, and I got to meet more people. Eventually, maybe I go to Istanbul, and I think if you can get a good idea, a good way to help people out to build up their program, their Jiu-Jitsu program, and I think I do. I help many people, and they can eventually do the switch, turn into just Jiu-Jitsu professionals. I think they can do good job. So I think I could help many people. So now my goal is trying to go more into Istanbul, Eastern Europe. That's what is great that I'll be talking to you guys. What else? I want to go like South Asia. in India, places that really are in a need. Like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys, they don't want to go to those places because there is not much money. But it's not. At the end, it's not only about this. It's about helping out people to discover Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Right, let me see the next question here. What's the next for you and your team in 2014? Oh, and I forgot to say, a new school that I just got in Europe is Austria. So far, many schools, many academies. It's not mine. They're there. They just take my advice, and they are my students. That's pretty much it. But I feel very grateful for them to be under my tutelage, and it's my honor. But yeah, my goals for 2014. Let's see. Well, in 2014, we just had the World Championship here, and was great. We could place 4 guys. It's a new school. I have my Sampa when I opened Sampa Academy in California was 2011. After all my trips, I decided to stay. And 2011 won, so 2014 now, June. That's when I'm doing this interview here. So we have mainly blue belts. We got just maybe one, I believe, purple belt. Yes, and they're competing. So on the blue belt level, on the white belt level, at these worlds here, we could place 3 guys. They placed two third places and 1 first place. So I think it was pretty good for a brand new school. We have people placing in the Pan Americans. We have kids. I have a great program for kids because my judo background and my wrestling background and the ideas, because jiu-jitsu mainly was for adults in Brazil. That's kind of people don't know much how to lead with kids because that's how they learn. Just adults. But I would say I have 200 at the moment, 260 students, and half of it are kids, if not 60% of it are kids. And kids compete in the Pan Am for kids, and they're placing, getting happy. Parents get involved because they see the progress and the benefits the kids do, and it's just afterwards just like a snowball. So that's pretty much about my goal. My goal is opening another school around me. And I just actually opened, but I don't know how good it's gonna be. Testing that city. I'm renting out of a kung fu school just to build up a clientele and then move up to a standalone place. But so I'm trying to open a second one because I have a bunch of guys from Brazil and Europe that they want to come here and teach. But I want to get them the visa to come and teach. And if it's somebody up who wants to come, somebody that wants to come and listen to this video wants to come and hit me up, okay, down below we have my email, my website, and so on. So and I want to do a online tutoring, helping people build up their program. That's my next school where they can go log in and see the class and do the same class as I do in my school, and so they can build up their program because they don't have a black belt every day. So I think that is my other goal. And I have a couple of products that I sell online too. So like the Invincible Basics, the wrestling for Jiu-Jitsu, arm bars and platas, and some of my seminars when I go out and do seminars, and I always record the seminars, so it's good stuff that I put online. But well, yes, the main goal is getting my students training, not getting hurt and getting better, and keep losing weight. I tell you, we lost more than 1,000 pounds already. The people that came here and lost 50 pounds, right, like 25 kilos. I have a bunch of of people, like over 20 people that had this transformation, and I can't give this. I can say that a medal wouldn't help them more than that. And now they're winning medals. Now they're feeling even better. But so that's pretty much it. Okay, in the blue belt level for my school, I saw them competing, and I think that technically they're getting closer to the end. I hope you're liking this. And let me see. If you want to thank somebody or sponsors, feel free. Well, I would thank, that's so many people to thank to thank actually that I've met in the industry. Of course, thank all my coaches that once again, Ryan Gracie, Luis Duarte in Brazil, which my coaches that start, of course, my family who put me, my wife who supports me in this crazy life. Many times, I wake up, I teach a class at 5:30 a.m. So I wake up earlier than that every day. So I teach a class and I go to sleep 11. So work hard in jiu-jitsu. So she's many times she want to do some stuff, and because her life is not mainly jiu-jitsu, but that's mine. And she has a lot of patience on that. So she wouldn't be with me if she didn't have any patience. And of course, thank all my students to be with me, because at the end, guys, the students are someone who relate to your culture. Try to another tip or advice for the instructor: just try to be yourself. Of course, if you're not a good person, try to get better. But try to be yourself, because people will follow you. If you like to drink coffee, or let's say if you like to drink a beer on Friday, but if you're preaching, don't drink. Being a little hypocrite. You're gonna meet students who like to drink a beer on a Friday too. So if you like to have the abs, the six pack, and looking what you eat, and then the meal plan, and eat every 3 hours, I don't like this. I like to come and train, do my stuff. So if you like that stuff, you're gonna relate to people like that. So they're gonna come, they're gonna see you, and they're gonna like you. And whoever doesn't like you, they're gonna leave. So don't try to how can I say, make everyone happy, because it's not gonna make it. So that's why I say I have to thank all my students, because they're exactly like me, and they relate to me, the stuff that I've done, and this the way I think. So pretty much it. So good, guys. I hope you like it. So check it out, my stuff that I have online. A big shout out again for BJJ Eastern Europe. So BJJEE.com. Big shout out for you guys. We're gonna build up some relationship. I put up a lot of stuff, and then they help out with free stuff that help out people in jiu-jitsu. So hopefully I hear from you guys soon. Okay, bye bye.